In fact, Charlie knew very well in his heart that the 4 people in front of him must be from the Sioux family. And they were sent by the Sioux family to perform such an important task, enough to show that the 4 of them must be the confidants of the Sioux family. Therefore, Charlie needs them to tell the whole story in front of the camera, and then make the video public. As a result, the reputation of the Sioux family is going to be completely rotten. You know, the Sioux family betrayed Ruoli before. This incident has greatly damaged the reputation of the Sioux family. He hopes that Master Sioux will finally push the eldest son Zin out of the black pot. But this account is not only recorded in Zin, in addition to his head, it was also written on the head of the entire Sioux family. If it breaks out again at this time that the Sioux family still wants to murder their own daughter-in-law, or even murder the Sioux family's own flesh and blood again, then the Sioux family will definitely become a rat crossing the street. Aside from other things, fame alone will not be able to stand up in this life. Old Man Sus' confidant, Stewart and others, also knew that this matter was important. The death of a European princess in a car accident has yet to allow the people to grasp any substantive evidence. If there is evidence to confirm what the royal family did such a thing, the reputation of the entire royal family in the world would have completely ruined. Therefore, Stewart warned himself deep in his heart, in any case, I can't tell the truth about the whole thing, otherwise, not only will the reputation of Mr. Sioux be undermined, but I will also become a sinner in the eyes of Mr. Sioux. Thinking of this, Stewart said hurriedly, Big brother, is there any misunderstanding in this matter? We are planning to save people. Charlie rushed forward, grabbed Stewart by the collar, and said in a cold voice, Believe it or not, if you continue to talk nonsense with me here, then I will take you to the dog factory, one by one. I chopped you up and feed the flesh to the dogs? Or simply tie up your hands and feet and throw you directly into the dog cage for the dog to eat for 3 days and 3 nights. Stewart was frightened and numb all over his body, even from his scalp to his toes. Although he didn't even know who the young man in front of him was, he had no doubts what the young man said. From this young man's eyes alone, he can see the other party's determination. At this time, Charlie continued, Don't worry, even if you want to die faster, I won't give you a chance. I'll put an iron cage on your head first to protect your head. Then use a bulletproof vest to protect your entire abdomen so that you won't die so easily. You, Stewart shuddered and blurted out, Who are you? We have no grudges against you. Why are you here? You have no grievances or animosity with me. Charlie sneered. What did you plan in this city? Murdering others in the broad daylight, the methods are cruel and despicable, and everyone involved here punishable. Even if I kill you, I will do the way for heaven. Stewart insisted on a strong momentum, and said coldly, Boy, we must first weigh our own abilities for the sake of heaven. Do you know who we are serving? If you annoy the boss behind us, even if you are the king, there is not enough space for you on earth to hide. Charlie sneered, grabbed Stewart's neck, and slapped with all his strength. This slap force was so powerful that he pulled it up at once, and directly beat his entire jaw into a comminuted fracture. Almost all the teeth in the mouth were directly broken by the huge force at this moment. Stewart hasn't been beaten for so many years in the society, but he has never suffered such a terrifying slap in the face. At this moment, he only felt that his mouth was completely painful to the point of numbness. At the end of the pain, he didn't feel the pain at all. He could only feel that the whole person was already stale, and the whole mouth was full of big and small hard particles. And the mouth was full of warm sweet smell, and there seemed to be dozens of bleeding wounds in his mouth. The blood instantly filled his mouth. Immediately afterwards, Stewart vomited out, his mouth full of blood mixed with dozens of broken teeth. This scene was shocking, and the other 3 people around him were in awe. They didn't quite understand why the young man in front of them was suddenly angry. Is it because the Captain Stewart's words are too pretending? Stewart was also directly confused. Seeing that there were no teeth left in his mouth, his whole person was on the verge of collapse, and he cried vaguely, You looking for death? I am. Charlie sneered and interrupted him. I know what you want to say. Aren't you from the Sioux family of the capital city? Are you talking about this with me here? Do you really think I will be afraid of the Sioux family that is behind you? Stewart said with a look of astonishment. The Sioux family? The Sioux family is the first in the country. Why are you not afraid? Charlie laughed and said contemptuously, Afraid? To tell you the truth, I and the entire Sioux family have antagonisms. Even if Chung Feng pretended to be forceful in front of me, I would slap all his teeth, same as yours. Quote. After speaking, Charlie said again, Since you are a Sioux family dog, killing a few dogs like you can temporarily relieve my hatred. When Stewart heard this, he was even more desperate, and he thought to himself, This guy actually has a hatred against the Sioux family. I wanted to move out of Sioux. The big Buddha at home, in exchange for forgiveness from the other side, did not think that he had lifted a rock and hit his own foot. At this time, Charlie raised his volume a bit, and said coldly, I will ask you again, do you want to say or not? Stewart gritted his teeth and blurted out, I say I'm dead, I don't say I am still dead. If I say it, the boss will not let my family go, so you should kill me. Charlie smiled. I said, I won't let you die so easily, I will send you to the kennel and let you die slowly. At this moment, Isaac ran in with 2 of his men. He was a little relieved to see that Charlie had taken control of the situation. However, when he saw that Rolls-Royce that had been hit by the horrible crash, he couldn't help but feel terrible. Grabbing his heart, he asked, Master, man, how is the situation? Charlie said indifferently, Shred is dead, the 2 ladies are seriously injured and unconscious, but the 2 of them won't die within a while. When Charlie came in, he had already used aura to investigate the injuries of the 2 females in the wreckage. Both of them are seriously injured. For the doctor, they should have lost the value and opportunity of treatment. If they can survive for an hour at most, they may die soon after. However, for Charlie, their injuries were not incurable. After solving the 4 people in front of him, giving half a rejuvenation pill for each of them, mother and daughter would surely be saved. Isaac heard Charlie say that the 2 of them won't die for a while, knowing that Charlie must have a way to save them, so he was relieved. He checked the time and said, Master, we have to hurry up. I heard that the people from the high-speed wrecking team have already started to clear the obstacles at the tunnel entrance at the back. They should be able to clear them in about half an hour, and the lane will be clear. Charlie nodded and said, I see, I can solve it all in 10 minutes. With that, he asked Isaac, By the way, old man, can you get me some African hyenas? Huh? Isaac was stunned, and blurted out, African hyena? What kind of African hyena? Charlie looked at the 4 men in front of him, and said coldly, It's the kind of African hyena that live in groups on the prairie and likes to dig their prey when hunting. Isaac took a deep breath and blurted out, Master, what are you doing with that kind of dog? Charlie stared at Stewart and sneered, I want to add a new breed to Orville's kennel. It is full of ordinary fighting dogs, not very good for all the purposes. If you raise a group of African hyenas which like to dig their food, that must be an interesting sight.